it's still on the issue of the candidates which will emerge as the flag bearer of the PDP in Anambra State. It's just about 2 months or so to the governorship election in Anambra State, and a lot of controversy in the PDP. Beyond that is what the party has to offer the people of Anambra State. And I have the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State, Mr. Oseloka Obaze. Many thanks for joining us on the program tonight.
Thank you, Sean. It's a pleasure to be back here. Good evening, viewers.
There seems to be a lot of controversy surrounding your emergence. A lot of people pulled out. Senator Stella Odua, just about 3 of you or 4 of you actually ran in that race. When did you join the PDP?
I joined PDP in January 2016.
January 2016. Did you get a waiver to run in that race?
I certainly did.
But, I mean, the understanding we have is that the waiver you got was a provisional waiver.
No, I got a provisional clearance, and subsequently I got a waiver from the National Caretaker Committee.
Is it the National Caretaker Committee that gives the waiver or the neck of the party?
The National Caretaker Committee is the neck.
No, neck is different from the caretaker.
Well, you have
as a neck.
You have the working committee, you have the National Working Committee, you have the neck that is the whole body. When they are not in full session, the working committee takes care of business. But the waiver was duly issued, if that's what you're asking. You
think your candidacy, your candidature was muscled in the PDP?
Muscled? I don't think so.
Because a lot of, did you hear what some of your colleagues are saying? That you were brought through the back door into the PDP to be imposed on them?
No, that's a matter of a perception. And I think it would be presumptuous of me to speak for the National Caretaker Committee. I think they've spoken for themselves, and I think they've spoken boldly in terms of the process. The process was a clear, due process. The primaries were conducted transparently on national television, so I don't understand where this is all coming from. I don't want to ascribe labels to people who are sore losers, but that seems to be the case.
Why would your colleagues, you ran together in that race, why do you think they're sore losers?
Well, people run in races to win. That's the main objective. I ran to win, and I won.
Why would you describe them as sore losers?
No, I said, careful now, Shehu. I said I would not like to ascribe labels. In that case, it would be a question of sore losers. That's what I said.
If you look at what you have said in previous interviews, earlier this year, you did say, around March or so, that you're not even sure on what platform you were going to run. At what point did you decide that you were going to run on the platform of the PDP?
Shehu, the party was in crisis. There were 2 factions. I was the only person in Anambra State, an aspirant who was talking to 2 sides of the faction consistently. That's my remit. I'm a diplomat. I was negotiating. I was trying to build the party together. I was not discriminating.
So you were weighing your options?
No. The fact was that a lot of people in the party at that point did not know what the fate of the party would be. We were praying for the best outcome, the best possible outcome. But I was, and it's on record. It's on the net. I was approached by the Hope Party, Sam Ohebunam, to run on their platform, and I told them I was not going to do that. They did offer that, regardless of the platform I ran on, and they knew I was in PDP, that they would support me. The Young Democratic Party also approached me. So when you say you're consulting, you're rallying people to come into the umbrella. The PDP umbrella is fairly big. To accommodate everybody. And I think that was the thing. It's a misnomer and a misconception to think that because you're consulting, then people presume you're looking to go somewhere else. No. It's an open-ended system. There were a lot of dialogue. We had a lot of negotiations going on. There was also a court process going on at that point. You have to have your options and your backup options. I'm a technocrat. I do forward planning, and I do analysis of the best options in case of scenario. If scenario 1 does not happen, what happens in scenario 2? That should not be misconstrued as to mean that I wasn't in the party. But look at it this way. The I think if I were to hoodwink one person, it would be very difficult to hoodwink the entire PDP party machinery, from grassroots to the national chairman. The documentations are there.
Okay, is Mr. Peter Obi your political godfather?
What do you mean by political godfather?
I mean, do you hear what your people say in your party?
Shehu, I think this is a matter of semantics. In this business, in politics, everybody has somebody who supports you, who's your mentor, who's your brother, who's your colleague, in all walks of life. Is
Mr. Peter Obi to you?
Oh, you want to get into that? Peter Obi was my junior in school. He got into school as I was leaving. As I sit here, if Peter Obi walks in here, he addresses me as senior. He's never called me by my first name. It's a childhood friendship between families that has run for better part of 40 years. We know each other. When he was governor, until I became his SSG, I don't think I even visited his office once. I was at the United Nations. When he came to look for me to become his SSG, it took him a whole year to convince me. I had a better job. I was not looking for a day job.
Okay.
So the point being that in this business, Alex Ekwueme I've known since childhood. He was the former vice president of this country. I've known him since I was 7. When I started this business of running for this office, I went to consult him. So why don't they see him as my godfather?
Because you served under Mr. Peter Obi.
And I served under the incumbent governor too.
Okay, now, why are you not running under ABGA? Why PDP? And the government that you served.
I left ABGA because ABGA, the platform we had and the programs we had under ABGA were no longer being pursued. So I left office as secretary to the state government on the 8th of June 2015. And from that day until November 16th, 2016, I never commented on any issue relating to the Anambra government. As I sit with you, since I left office, I have not stepped into any government office in Anambra except the tax office where I go to pay my taxes. It's a matter of principle. Some people have discipline. I don't need to be a carpetbagger. I left office and I did indicate I was returning to private life. I returned to private life. I wrote 3 books. When I decided to run, I came out and I ran. And I started running, and I chose the platform on which I was supposed to run.
For a technocrat, it's actually interesting how you were able to secure the ticket of the PDP, considering those people you ran with, who are being politicians almost all their lives.
Shehu, I've been in the field for a year plus. I've been to every local government, 21 local governments of Anambra State. I have a movement in Anambra State, the Oseloka Obaze grassroots movement. They know who I am. I've been to every funeral, I've been to every wedding, I've been to every event.
That's how you got your ticket?
I have served the people of Anambra State, and they know I have served diligently. I lived in Anambra State. I still live in the same house I lived as SSG. I run a consultancy out of the state. So people know who I am. I speak up, I write, and I'm sure you've read some of the things I've written. I am focused on policy, and I'm focused on what is in the interest of the Anambra State. My running has to do with the fact that Anambra State, where it is not where we expected it to be when we handed over in 2014. I did agree to work for the Obiano government for 6 months. I stayed for 15 months. When the government went off the trajectory, I left. That's my option.
What made you fall out with the governor?
No, I did not fall out with the governor. The governor is my friend. We don't have any differences. There's no animus. If he walks in here, I'll stand up and greet him as His Excellency. I respect the office. I respect him. I have never spoken against him as a person.
But you have political disagreements.
I disagree with the way the government is run. I disagree with the policies. I disagree with that what he inherited, what was handed over to him, and the trajectory we have set for the state is not being pursued.
A lot of your colleagues who ran in the same primary, I'm still coming back to the issue of the primary, had faulted the delegate list, the Congress, the process of the Congress. And if that happened, can you tell us what exactly transpired at the ward delegate election?
I don't know. I was an aspirant. I can't comment on that. It will be presumptuous of me. The party, in its wisdom, brought in 2 serving governors, Governor Wike and Governor Fayose, to run the ad hoc list. They brought in Governor Omahi and Governor Udom to run the primaries. These are serving governors, for goodness sake. These are reputable people. I don't think you can compromise any of them. The point is that the party went through process, did what they needed to do, and the outcome was not favorable to some people. And they've challenged it. They've written petitions, due process. I've submitted myself to screening, and when they wrote petitions, it went through the due process, and the party stood its ground. I think you need to refer that question to the party hierarchy.
Do you think that the primary was free and fair?
Shehu, you and I are on live television. The primary was on live television. How fair could that be?